Hey guys, it's QuickyBaby and welcome back to World of Tanks. This time we have the pleasure of watching Quantumkiwi playing in the KV5. Holy moly, this thing is so horrendously ugly. Well, maybe a few of you out there are thinking, what are you talking about? What are you talking about, QuickyBaby? I love my KV5. I love the way that I look. Well, I guess that I would liken that to a mother. You know, mums always think that their really ugly kids are the most beautiful thing in the world. Maybe you are the mother of the KV5? Anyway, let's move on from that. What is this tank and why am I doing a video on it right now? Well, this is a retired Tier 8 Soviet premium heavy tank. It's retired because it has preferential matchmaking and I guess it was very popular and also very cheap. This tank cost 7,500 gold. Now, pretty much all of the Tier 8 premium heavy tanks, even ones with preferential matchmaking, are at least 10,000 gold plus. So I believe that Wargaming removed this tank because it's a little bit stupid, but more also that they probably wanted to set a bar for a specific price, i.e. 10,000 gold plus for a Tier 8 premium heavy. So Quantumkiwi is playing on this very special weekend that just happened on the North American server. As you can see, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, oh my word, there's a lot more than I thought there was. There are 8 KV5s if you look on either team right now. Now why is that? Well, basically, even if you've got even if you made a paltry amount of effort, I didn't manage to see it myself, but I heard it was 5 kills. You got a KV2 rental for 2 days. So that means that irrelevant of how much you have played the game of World of Tanks, you could just get yourself a free Tier 8 Premium for 2 days and probably make an absolute monster amount of credits. But also what that means is that experienced players, such as Quantumkiwi and his friend Hell's Fog, who is playing in the Super Pershing, probably have the opportunity to farm a huge amount of damage and a huge amount of credits by engaging inexperienced players. And also by playing against players who might not know about the strengths and the weaknesses of the KV5. Now the armor on this vehicle is very thick. On paper, it is 180 at the front, 150 at the side, and 140 at the rear. And considering this tank can never meet Tier 10 vehicles, and can meet vehicles as low as Tier 6, that means that quite often the KV5 can be an absolute bully in a top tier matchmaking such as this. He's just baiting this Stura meal. One thing that Quantumkiwi does for at least the first few minutes of this replay is he's racking up a good amount of damage and picking up some kills, because he uses auto-aim a lot. Now, I wouldn't ever really recommend auto-aim to the extent that Quantumkiwi is using here, but it seems to be working for him as he drive-by kills that T-54 Mod 1 on the enemy team. So back to the KV5. I said 180 on the front, 150 on the side, and 140 at the rear. But there are some parts of the armor which are really thick, like this bar across the middle, and some parts of the rear armor that are weak, i.e. this top area, which quite often results in fires as well. However, there is one ticket for you to be able to kill these steel behemoths very, very, very easily, pretty much from any angle that you can see it at, and that is this on the front. This is where the radio man sits. This little chappy down here, this radio operator, has to be forced into the KV5 every time. And that's because more often than not, KV5 radio operators die. They probably die multiple times throughout the battle. They probably die, get resurrected with your med pack, and then they die again. And that's because the armor on the front of this is only 120. Now to get through the turret armor on this tank outside of the mantlet, you probably have to have at least about 180 millimeters of penetration to have a 50-50 chance to penetrate this thing frontally outside of the mantlet. But when this thing is so huge, it's a gigantic target, as we can see here. Very easy to hit. And only 120 millimeters, this is your key to taking out KV5. But considering that the rental weekend is now over, you guys are probably wishing that I had told you that before. But I have got loads of other KV5 replays on this channel, including a full review of this tank, so you should definitely check those out. And you can find them in the button up there. If you click the button, I guess it's going to be on the top right-hand corner of the screen for you. You can find links through to those videos. So Quantumkiwi went and cleared up the western flank very, very cleanly indeed. Now he's engaging a KV, an IS-6, nearly said a KV-5. They're so used to saying that, seeing so many of them in this replay. He's engaging the other Tier 8 Soviet heavy premium tank with preferential matchmaking in IS-6. But you'll see that he's firing premium rounds here, and he's only managing to go through a couple of times out of the 4 that he's fired, I believe. Now, he is also getting hit by APCR rounds, as we can see here as well. But remember, that's only 217 millimeters of penetration for the IS-6, or it could be 219. The KV-5's is 219, and it is a damn sight better than the terrible standard rounds that this tank gets. The standard rounds on this vehicle have 167 millimeters of penetration. If he was firing those at an IS-6, he's got pretty much no chance of being able to penetrate that thing frontally. But with the APCR rounds, as long as he hits sort of like a flatly angled surface, he's got a pretty good chance of going through the armor. Especially if he hits the top roof of the tank. And he's picked up his top gun, 3,600 damage. That is a great game so far for any KV-5. And unfortunately, I think we've just found someone who's probably trying to play a little bit out of their leagues here. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Chuku, you're just not really doing it right now, are you, buddy? But I don't think Quantumkiwi was complaining as he picks up his 7th kill of the game. Now, I heard a lot of people say that they managed to do quite a few of the personal missions this weekend on the North American server. People were trying to get Heavy Tank Mission 12 done. They were trying to get Heavy Tank Mission 15 done. Because obviously a tank that's got such diabolically terrible penetration as this, 167, but still has a rather nice DPM. And the DPM of this tank is nearly 2,200, which is very nice for a Tier 8 Heavy. If you can manage to penetrate your shots in this tank, you can actually rip apart targets very quickly with its 300 alpha damage. Now, 300 alpha damage isn't the best of any Tier 8 Heavy. In fact, I think it could be the worst. I think the only one that would be worse would be the FCM 50T, I should think. Tiger 2 has 320. All of those 100mm guns have got 320 alpha damage. And a lot of guns are starting to get up to 390, such as on the IS-3 as an example. Can he put a shot into the side of the Leve's turret? Yes, he can. Chunking him down. And he is just racking up the damage here. These Tier 8 premium heavy tank drivers really don't know what's going on. As Quantumkiwi puts in nearly his 6,000 damage. There you go, 6,039 damage so far this game, and securing a Radley Walters medal. Now, Hell's Fog on his team in his platoon has fallen, but he picked up 2 kills as well. So that means that if Quantumkiwi can get another couple, he's probably going to get a crucial contribution. Now, one thing that you see that's interesting here is the enemy KV-5 is actually got his back to Quantumkiwi. And that's because the frontal weak point of this tank, where the radio operator is, this like R2-D2 on the front of the vehicle, is so bad that you're actually probably better to have the tank angled like this and just hope that they miss this plate here. Because hitting this plate is a lot harder than shooting the front of an R2-D2 droid. So Quantumkiwi, he's got a tricky situation here really against the Leve. The Leve's got a very decent penetration on its gun, more than enough to butter through the front of a KV-5. As I indicated, you only need 120 to hit that droid, and probably only about 180 to have a 50-50 chance to go through the rest of the turret. But Quantumkiwi is realizing that engaging this Leve at long range is not really going to do him any favors. As he drives over this rather beautiful, I guess, lavender fields on this monastery map towards the Leve and finishes him off. Great job there, picking up his 10th kill. He has killed 2/3 of the enemy team, and now there's just one more KV-5 remaining. So he's also got a KV-5 on his team, just waiting. He's basically distracting. And now we're going to see that the accuracy on this gun, well, it held up there. Maybe I preempted a little bit. He pens the KV5 droid in the side. He evidently very clearly knows where to shoot a KV5. Quantumkiwi has probably not rented this tank for this weekend, or if he has, he already knew where the weaknesses were. And look at those shots flying over the droid. And that's because the accuracy on this tank is a rather mediocre, I think 0.43. So you're pretty lucky if you hit tanks where you want to at 300 meters range. And he's having a damn hard time getting this droid out. And he needs to be careful. The enemy KV5 could very easily still take down this game as he bounces off the side of the turret there. As the enemy KV5 is hiding his droid, ironically, behind another KV5 droid. Oh my word, it's like some kind of droidception right now. Can he finish him off? One more, 311 health. Shuts him down right into the top of his tank as he receives 290 damage from the enemy KV5, who evidently knows where to shoot these tanks. So a fantastic result for Quantumkiwi here. I've never seen such a big game in a KV5. 7,354 damage. That's got to be close to a record of all-time great KV5 games. As this vehicle has 1,780 hit points, the KV5 can take a beating like no other Tier 8 tank. Well, unless people know about the weak point and make it look like Swiss cheese by the end of the battle. And it's not even remotely surprising that the radio operator was injured by the end. So let's just take a very quick look at the post-game stats. So what a result for Quantumkiwi here. This was the highest experience game that's ever been submitted on the QuickyBaby Replays website. 2,307 base experience points, making a gigantic amount of credits, over 205,000 to be exact, feeding his platoon mate that crucial contribution medal for getting at least 12 kills between them, a pools medal for his individual 11 kills, unsurprisingly a high caliber medal for his 7,354 damage he pulled off, and a steel wall medal. How much damage did he block? Well, he only blocked 2,115, but considering that his tank was nearly dead by the end, that's still 3,675 potential damage received. What a crazy round, but I expect he did spend whoa! He spent 145,000 credits on ammunition this game, but still profited 52,000 credits. I guess showing why sometimes you gotta spend money to make money. And a quick check on the World of Tanks portal shows that Quantumkiwi has only played 8 games in his KV5, so I do expect this was actually you renting this vehicle. And so congratulations to you that you managed to pick it up so quickly and post the biggest game of all time. So Quantumkiwi, thank you so much for sending me this replay, and congratulations to you on this absolute monster round. And I wonder if you'll think about picking one of these up when they're on sale. And hopefully you guys enjoyed this replay. If you did, please consider giving it a like down below. It really helps the channel out. And let me know in the comments down below what you guys think about these wargaming rental weekends. Do you think it ruins the matchmaker when you've got players who are very inexperienced on your team and also the enemy team? Or do you love having opportunities to perhaps get in, let's think, maybe an E75 or a VK4502 and laughing your way to the bank, just chewing up these very juicy targets that basically can't penetrate you frontally? And if this replay has sparked your interest in the KV5, then click the pages icon that you can see and check out some far more hilarious replays than this one. And as always, thank you so much for watching. You've been epic, and hopefully I'll see you soon.